Hello everybody. So I know I did a video yesterday, but I felt really great today to come on. I've been promising for some time and I just forgot about it. And again, I'm thinking about everything now that before I would never remember. I don't know how many times my husband says, "Don't you remember me telling you that?" No, I'm sorry. But I do remember more now. Everything's coming back and kind of can hold, you know, just hold things in there. Like my brain's working again. Okay, so this video today is about coupon for Belbuca. I have since day one that I've been on Belbuca have paid not 1 cent. And how I even printed off an extra copy for you guys to show you what to do. I have my own that is with the pharmacist from day one. So the night before I was going to go to the pharmacist, they were ordering my Belbuca, and that's just another thing. Let me tell you, if you're going to try to get on the Butrans patch or Belbuca, your pharmacy is not going to have it. Butrans, maybe. It's been out longer. But Belbuca, no, it's so expensive. Even my pharmacist told me they'll only order for me right now what I use every month, but it took a while for them to even to do that, because I know when I was on Belbuca 450, it was like $800 a month out of pocket, and your pharmacists don't like to carry certain medications that are so expensive. And right now, 600 has to be well over $1,000. Okay, so bottom line, you make sure you always know if your doctor is going to order you Butrans patch or Belbuca, make sure that they give you a 2-day grace period. Number one, because the pharmacy will not have it in stock, and like CVS only takes about 2 days to get it in. I do not know about other pharmacies. Now, second, I want to let you know the most hardest thing is that every time you need to get a subscription of Belbuca or Butrans patch, you are going to have an authorization from your doctor to call your insurance company. And here's where a lot of people that call me and ask me for help this is where they're running into a problem. They are getting the runaround that they'll leave the doctor's office all excited to have a subscription, and they're cutting them back on their pain medication because they're like, okay, we're going to put you on, Butrans patch or Belbuca, which, by the way, those are medications to help you to come off of the opioids, to not have the withdrawals as you would normally have. That's why a lot of people are scared to get on any other medication, because the side effects, if you are on pain medication because you are in pain, first of all, I am so sick and tired of people that treat us like we're drug addicts. Even doctors do that. Guys, you are not addicted to your pain medication. You are dependent on your pain medication. I know the first time that I read that, I will never forget that day. It was an enlightened day for me, and it just was something that I started telling everybody, and they'd go to say something, I'm like, stop, let me tell you. I am not addicted to my pain medication, but I am dependent on the side effects of the medication. So it is rough. And let me tell you, I understand what it's like to when they're starting you out on Butrans or Belbuca, and they're starting you on a low dose, because it's just the rules. They're not going to start you on a high dose to start with. You've got to work with your pain management doctor. I can remember that there's a scale that they go on. For me, I was on 4 Percocets a day, so I could start at least on 300. Now, on Belbuca, the strongest they had was a 20. She started me on 10. She already knew. I know she knew that it wasn't going to do anything. But what it did do is that she told me, you can't take any opioids like 12 hours if possible. And I told her that I can't do that. So she's like, okay, 6 hours before you put on the Butrans patch. I called her up the next day and I said, listen, I'm in pain. I can tell that it's doing something, but I'm in so much pain. Immediately, she made me drive to her office, surrender, because she gave me a month's supply. I had to surrender all of the medication because you sign a contract with your pain management doctor. I had to give her all of my 10 Belbuca, Butrans patch. She called me in a subscription of the 20s. And then I was on that for about a week until I just told her it's just not enough. But I'm like, they don't have any higher, and they don't. 20 is the highest the USA has. In other countries, it goes to 70. I am waiting, guys, because on the Butrans, it's pretty much the same ingredients. It's just you put on a patch for 1 week, and I think that that's amazing. But for some people, that's enough. 20 is amazing. You don't need anything else. That's all you really need. For me, it's a little different. My pain level is different. We all are different. So I had to switch over to then Belbuca, and I had to again go drive all the way back to her office, which she lives far away from me, surrender then my 20, and then she wrote me a subscription for Belbuca. Now, during that time, she gave me enough, like 2 or 3, but then the pharmacy is like, oh, well, we don't know what it is. Hold on. Well, we'll have to order it. It takes 2 days. And so I am very fortunate in California that they kind of have their shit together. Let's just say that. And not all doctors do. I did not have a good relationship with my pain management doctor in the beginning when all they were doing was just taking pain medicine away from me. And it seemed like that it took a while for them to even consider putting any of their patients on these medications. I don't know when the Drug Administration changed it, that they were going to reduce our country's opioids by 30%, and they also decided to take our benzoids away, which are Xanax, clozapam for people that have anxiety. You can no longer take opioid pain medication. And the world, millions of people are, if you have pain, most likely you have anxiety because you have pain, or you might have other issues. So they took that away from us immediately. So we hated our pain doctors because all they did was just kept hurting us, and they just acted like they didn't care. It wasn't until one day she says, I have one other patient that I put on Belbuca that seems to be doing really well, Karrie. I think that it might be right for you. So, but they knew before I left the office to call my insurance company, because the doctors have to give an authorization, and they have to give a reasoning code of why they're going to put you on a medicine that it's so expensive that your insurance will then have to cover. And if you leave that office and they tell you, oh no, as a pharmacy has to call, or you have to call, and that is not the case. Your doctor has to call. And let me tell you, I've had people call me crying because the doctors will not work with them, and they'll go back and forth between the pharmacist. And finally, I told them, you call your insurance company, and then you go from there. And then they actually got the ball rolling by calling their insurance company by saying, hey, my doctor just won't call. And so you have to do what you have to do, but knowledge is everything. You don't leave that office without saying, I know you're going to have to call. And by the way, they're going to have to order this medicine. Everybody, the pharmacy doesn't have it in stock. I've already been talking to them. Go talk to the pharmacy before you even go to the pain management doctor and say, do you carry Belbuca, or do you carry Butrans patch? Because that's what I'm going to be asking for from my pain management doctor. And get that information ahead of time, because again, knowledge is power, and because we have to fight for our life here, I'm giving you guys the tools nobody gave me. I had to do this all on my own, and I don't want you guys to have to do that. Okay, So what I really wanted then to get to is when I was doing my research, I think they had ordered my 300. She started me out on 300 Belbuca. And again, you know, they start you slow going up, and it seems like a lot of waste of medication, but it's just by law what they have to do. I went online, and this is the paper. Okay, if I don't know if you guys can see it, there's like a number, and it's a coupon card, and there's like a number there, guys. At the bottom, it even tells you the strengths of the Belbuca. It gives you the numbers. I hope that shows up on your side as the right side of the page. I'll have to, when I watch the video back, hopefully this is not upside down. So anyway, this is just says patient pays as little as $0 copay for the first month, and then down here it says from the first month they'll pay $100 copay, and then the second month to the 12th month they'll pay up to $75 off the copayment. And so basically, I remember when I was picking up my Belbuca 300, it was $60 was my copayment, and I had to pay $0. I gave this to my pharmacist. First of all, she said it was $60. And then I gave her this. They went to the computer. They typed that little number in of my own little number. You'll get your own little number when you print it out. You just go and type in on Google Belbuca and then coupon. And then it's the first thing. It'll be the first thing, and it'll say coupon, and you click on that. It'll have you download this paper. And if you don't have I have like a wireless printer. If you don't have that, then download it and then send it to your email and print it. Have somebody print it for you before you go to the pharmacist, and then they'll keep this on file. Also, there's a number. It's 1-855-9 Belbuca. So the number is 1-855-9, then spell out the word Belbuca, Belbuca. That's the number. And for pharmacy processing questions, please call 1-855-9 Belbuca. And that's, if they have any questions, they just call. I called that number the night before they were open, and they're like, just have a pharmacy call it if they don't understand what to do. They didn't have to call it. So I have been on this. 1 month was starting like on the Butrans, and in the same month switching over to Belbuca, and I've had 4 different Belbucas so far, guys. I went from the 300, then I had a couple months of the 450s, and then now I'm on the 600. I've paid nothing. I've paid 0. And what I'm gonna do is hopefully when my 12 months is up, I'm gonna kind of maybe call the number and find out what they can do, whether I can print out another one, whether they'll honor it for me, because I think this has to do with the pharmaceutical company. The drug is so new, and I did know a long time ago. It kind of makes me kind of realize when my mom was taking a medication she needed, and it was $1,200 a month, and it was shots in her stomach for like brittle bones, and it was a newer medication. They actually paid all of it for her. And so some pharmaceutical companies, when a drug is so new, they want to have doctors send good reports on the medication, on how it's doing. I know that my pain management doctor is using my experience as well as one other person, and to be able to report back how the drug is doing. And yes, I know a little bit of the ins and outs, that doctors get incentives. They have the reps come about their new medications, and doctors get incentives for writing certain prescriptions over another. But in this case, guys, I ain't going to complain. Not going to say anything negative about doctors. And if this is one of those medications that, because it's so new, that they get an incentive program, then so be it, because I think that this is the best thing that's ever happened to us. If you think about it, and let's see if I can remember the name of it. Forever, if anybody was trying to get off of drugs, was addicted to drugs, again, we're not addicted. We're dependent on our pain medication due to our pain and due to the side effects of the medication. This medication was designed first to get you, help with the side effects of getting off of opioids, because it's just, guys, it's horrible. If any of you guys know, I know I'm talking to some of you right now because some of you are experiencing this. Let's say when they came and said that they had to reduce us off of some of our opioids, and they said, now I'm going to cut you down from 4 a day or 3 a day to only 2 a day, and we're going to give you and start you off on 5 milligrams of Butrans patch or whatever. First of all, you ain't going to get the Butrans patch for a while, because they're going to not call in for authorization, and the pharmacy is going to have to order it. And so you're going to be cut back. You're going to be going through side withdrawals, and your body, you're going to be in a lot of pain. And here they've gave you such a little prescription because your body's used to more. And it's hard during that month. I get people crying, people devastated, and that was me too. And you're trying to call, and people are just getting tired of you calling because, they treat you like you're just trying to get your drugs. And, I pray one day that they're not in that situation, and they'll have to say, oh man, I feel so bad how I treated those people, because not all of us are people that are just trying to get drugs. We're just trying to not feel pain. We're just trying to live our life and not give up. We're trying to every day fight to hang on. So the first month is very difficult, and you may end up taking more of your pain medication because you're used to taking 3 a day. Now they say take 2 a day, and doesn't mean your pain's going to lessen up. So you end up taking more, and then you don't get your Butrans or your Belbuca yet, so you start withdrawing. If any of you guys have went through this, you know what it's like to have to withdraw off of an opioid. It is horrible. It is so horrible that I have nightmares over it, because I know what it feels like. I almost lost my life withdrawing off of it. I know what it feels like, and it's devastating. And there's times in our life that we experience more pain, something happens, and you have an option where you take more of your opioid, or you go to the emergency room, and because you cannot control your pain, and then you end up running short at the end of the month. And that's when they call us like, oh, well, you've taken too much, you're addicted to drugs again. Yes, we've been labeled everything under the sun, but until you walk a day in our shoes, then you have no idea what hell we had to have gone through. For me, that's all been like, it's like a wind that came and carried it all away. I will never have to be dependent on an opioid again. I will never have to take an opioid unless for some reason I'm in the hospital with having a surgery and they have to give me something to help, with the pain. But now I know by getting off of my opioids, I was at a part where I remember going in for a colonoscopy, guys, and they couldn't even put me to sleep. My body was getting so acceptable to these drugs that they couldn't even put me to sleep for a procedure. And now it's like the wind has just carried all of that away, and my whole life is started new, and I want that for every one of you. But right now, I'm just trying to do all these little things that I know that I went through, and to try to help you. And I know what it is like when you're on a low income because you're disabled and can't work, and either Social Security, or you're trying to get your Social Security disability because you can't work, and it's hard to pay money. And then on a new prescription, these are so expensive. So I wanted you guys to know, first of all, this little paper print it out. You guys can comment. Please like my videos and follow, because maybe there's something that I can help you with. And I do look at the comments below. I apologize for the last 2 months that I've been out of the loop, but I've been looking again every day at the comments. You have to scroll all the way to the bottom and then leave me a comment, and then I'll reply back to you. So if you are having problems finding this, then I'll help you guys. I'll help you get one. Again, you just type in Belbuca, and Belbuca spelled B-E-L-B-U-C-A, and then just type the word coupon right next to it into Google, and then right away it'll pop up and you'll see a link that says Belbuca coupon. Click on that, follow it, it'll say download it. I think when I clicked on it, I had to click on it twice, and it said download again, then it downloaded, and then I was able to hit print on my phone right to my printer. So you guys might have to send it to your email, whatever you have to do. And next, I think hopefully I've taught you guys a little bit about who's responsible to getting your authorization, and the fact that you will have to have authorization on any of this medication and any strength changes. And I just messed myself up. And a couple weeks ago, I went on a Friday to my doctor. She upped me to 600. And on a Friday, by the time I got to the pharmacy, first of all, I couldn't believe they had it in stock, but I guess because I've been complaining so much, she had my 450 and then she had my 600. I think she was kind of preparing in case I did go up one more. I couldn't believe she had it in stock, but the problem is that there was no authorization. They all went home. And thank the Lord, the pharmacy knows my history of my insurance, that they gave me 3 films to get me through the weekend, because it's one every 12 hours. And then on Monday morning, the doctors called right away to my insurance company. It got authorized, and boom, they gave me the rest of them minus those 3 films. I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying that they did that, but when you have a relationship, you want to have one doctor, one pain management doctor, one pharmacy. I've learned all too well over the years, you do not want to jump around to pharmacies when it comes to picking up any kind of medications, like your benzoids, your pain medications, or even though Belbuca has only 0.03 grams of opioids in it, but it does have other medication, it's still in a controlled substance medication. And so you want to stay with the same pharmacy. I had one pharmacy once try to accuse me of picking up a month's prescription of pain medicine that I didn't pick up. And it was horrendous, because if they flag you for any reason at all, even if it's not your fault, then you're in a world of trouble. I've had to stay, guys, with one pharmacy for years, one doctor for years. Don't doctor shop. Don't try to, if you got a bad doctor, then you have the right to go find another doctor, and you need to let them know that you're just trying to find somebody who might be able to understand and might know about these new medications. Be honest with them. But I will tell you again, for anybody that needs to be on benzoids, because a lot of us do have anxiety. I, being held up at gunpoint, had PTSD, and it causes a lot more anxiety going out in public. So I can tell you that I do get into that situation where I have anxiety. So you can actually take your benzoids. And so whether you need Xanax or you need clozapine or whatever you need to get through whatever the doctor prescribes you, you can take it on Butrans patch. And Belbuca, because it's a partial agonist, and that means you're not getting that much opioids at all, and you're not getting enough to have any kind of breathing issues at all, because that's why the Drug Administration changed everything. So Again, you guys like the videos, please, and follow them, because that might be somebody else might see this and might need some help. Go to the bottom, scroll to the very bottom, leave me a comment. I'll comment back. Join my Facebook page that I have for anybody that's in pain. I don't care what you have. We all have different things wrong with us. We all might need just some support and need some help. And so I'd like to hear from you guys, okay? So hopefully this was some information to help you today. And God bless. You guys have an amazing day. Thanks. Bye-bye.